Hey guys, welcome to the show. My name is Josh, and before we jump into my review of La La Land, I just want to quickly say one thing. So I just got the chance to hang out with Erin Robinson from Clever Movies for a little bit, and she is like one of the coolest people ever. So if you are not subscribed to her, go subscribe to her. And if you are subscribed to her, know that she is like legitimately every bit as awesome in person as she is on YouTube. So that being said, let's just jump right into my review of La La Land. I actually saw it a couple of days ago on Christmas Eve when it premiered, but I wanted to kind of marinate in it and kind of come up with my exact thoughts on it. So here we go. La La Land is without a doubt my favorite film of the year. That's not to say that it's the best film of the year, but it is my favorite film of the year. I think it's one of the best films of the year. So let's first of all just touch on Damien Chazelle's direction for a moment, because Damien Chazelle is somebody that has really impressed me in the last couple of years with his films. First of all, Whiplash was a fantastic film. Whiplash was a film that was very much about trying to make it, very much about pouring everything you have into your passion and hoping for the best, which is something that obviously I can really connect to. And I think most people can really connect to it. And I'm going to tell you right now that that is what La La Land is all about. La La Land is about two people who have huge dreams and will do anything to reach those dreams. And La La Land is also about understanding when it's time to just kind of take a step back and realize that achieving your dreams isn't necessarily the most important thing in the world. So, first of all, Damien Chazelle's direction in this film is amazing. Just like in Whiplash, he does a wonderful job of tying in the music and the spoken parts of it. He does a wonderful job of creating a beautiful score. The score for this film was incredible. But what he does in this that he didn't do in Whiplash that I think makes this film all the better is that there is music playing throughout the entire film. Not everything is sung, but there is music playing throughout the entire film. And because of that, as you're watching it, it never feels jarring when they start singing or when the singing stops. Because it all feels like one grand song that has some spoken parts and some singing parts. And it flows wonderfully because of that. On top of that, I want to touch on Emma Stone's performance in this film, because I'm an enormous Emma Stone fan, and she's actually one of my favorite films of all time, Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, which I absolutely love. And she does kind of a similar character here in the regard that this is a girl who wants more than anything to be successful and to be her own person, and she's willing to just go through hell to get that, and she does. And I think this film is really maybe her best performance. And when I say that, when I first watched the film, as I was going through, there was one specific choice that I won't spoil. It has to do with how she sang in the film that kind of bugged me the first time I was watching it. And then at the end, it explains why, and I ended up loving that performance even more because of that. Because I've heard her singing when she was on Broadway, because she was in Cabaret on Broadway, and I knew that she could sing very, very well, and she sings well in the entire film, but she sings a little bit more timid through most of the film. But at the end, it makes sense why, and it works very, very well. I also like to say Ryan Gosling is actually a decent singer. He's not amazing, and he's probably the weakest singer in the film, but he is pretty good. And he does a really good job of kind of playing the character he has to play. But that being said, maybe the only real complaint I have with the film is that Ryan Gosling is just Ryan Gosling. So if you like Ryan Gosling, like I like Ryan Gosling, you're probably going to enjoy the film. But if you're not an enormous Ryan Gosling fan, you're going to be seeing Ryan Gosling doing what he always does. This is not a difficult role for him to pull off, because he's just doing kind of what he always does, but he does a very good job with it. The music in this film is fantastic, and it's beautifully used. But on top of that, Damien Chazelle really knows how to craft a film because of the lighting in this film, the shot composition in this film. It's so beautifully constructed, and it flows like one giant beautiful piece of art. And it's not just that the lighting is kind of pretty or that you can see things well. He chooses specific colors to illustrate certain moods. He chooses the way that the camera is set up, the angle it's used at, or the way that it sweeps to illustrate the mood you're supposed to get in every single scene. And it's such a beautiful film to watch because of that. And there's a moment in this film I won't spoil for you, but you'll probably know it when you see the scene. There is a scene in this film that absolutely blew me away. And up until this point, I was already in love with the film. But the observatory scene, you see in the trailer a little bit of it, I won't say anything else about it, but the observatory scene absolutely blew me away. One of my favorite scenes in any movie ever. So at the end of the day, is La La Land perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it is fantastic. It's emotional, it's sweet, the music is amazing, the performances are great, and it's just visually gorgeous to look at. And it's just such an enjoyable and sweet film. So I'm going to go ahead and give La La Land an A+. If La La Land is playing at a theater near you, since it's limited release, if it's playing at a theater near you, I highly recommend that you go give it a try, even if you're not necessarily a fan of musicals, because I think you'll probably end up enjoying it. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.